Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria now at ONN, and the Nightingale Radio International. Yes. How are you all doing? I'm inviting you to yet another edition of Nigeria Now at ONN on the Nightingale Radio International from Houston, Texas, United States of America. That event is going to be holding on YouTube. So ahead of it, I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at channel 1 on ONN. Follow the link you see right below the text introducing this subject matter. And the subject matter is going to be the meaning of democracy in Nigeria. Is this democracy working? Does democracy in Nigeria, does it resonate with the definition, the popular definition that we have? That says that democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Now ask yourself this question ahead of this historic discussion that is going to be aired live on our YouTube channel. Is democracy in Nigeria truly a government of the people? Are you one of those people or one of those persons? Does the system recognize you as a citizen with the rights? Yes, to the citizenship of Nigeria. This democracy, is it for you? Government of the people. Yes. Is it for you? By the people. Is it by you or by some people? Yes. Are you enjoying the benefit of it? So this is going to be the crux of what we're going to be talking about. Yes. When the debate comes up live. And I truly invite you to listen and perhaps contribute your own quota. If government or the democracy is the government of the people, you should be involved. Yes, if it is by the people, you should be an author of it. And if it is for the people, you should be benefiting from it. Are you benefiting with the level of poverty in Nigeria? With the level of insecurity in Nigeria? Yes. And that you are excluded. And that only a few people decide your destiny. And then when they move from one party to the other, you move with them. Does it make you look like you belong or you're part of that? You don't have no say. Is it a democracy that takes your mind away from you, your right to free speech, your right, your basic human right, right to choice, right to your life, right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association, right to worship God the way you want to worship it, and the right to self-determination? Is this democracy that they talk about as being a government of the people, for the people, by the people in Nigeria? Is it really working? Yes. Is it a government where an Atiku will run for president every 4 years? We think seeing himself as God, and that nobody else exists. Is it the democracy that does not give our people the choice, the right to choice? Yes. To choose from over 250 million Nigerians. Sure. Yes. Over 250 million Nigerians. But whenever they say there's going to be an election, you will see the same faces. Like we have been accustomed to choosing from the same of our worst. Do we have a right to say that we really don't have the Ibrahim Traore? in millions in Nigeria? Yes. Do we or do we not? These are the questions all of us we be asking ourselves between now and then when this discussion comes alive. Yes. So why is it that we have resigned? Like we don't have any other way to turn. We don't have any other persons to choose from except Atiku, except Erufai, except Rabi Kwankwaso, yes, on Wiki, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the rest of them. Like we are stuck with them. Yes, out of 250 million people. Doesn't it look like something is wrong with us? Yes. So why is it that we don't have that courage to say, okay, now let's look elsewhere for this direction? Yeah. Now how come the young people of Nigeria are the way they are? Young people are everywhere on earth. They are the driving engine. They are the driving forces for their countries. So how come our children, our young people have been so repressed, even though they are more in number when they go into the political parties? Democracy in Nigeria, should it be death? Should it be terrorism? Should it be banditry? Should it be corruption? Yes. Should it be kidnapping and raping? Yes. Questions for all of us. I thought I shared this with you. And I look forward to you subscribing ahead of this. And the link to our YouTube channel is right there at the bottom. You will see it at Nigeria Now on channel 1. Nigeria 1. Yeah. Okay, at channel 1 on ONN. Sorry about that. Yeah. Alright, so I look forward to more subscription. I want to thank young Nigerians who are now beginning to understand my message. I see a lot of them now when I come online on YouTube. They come in their thousands, to watch and they share our message. So something is happening. I think now people are beginning to appreciate our message. I don't do a lot of live on Facebook anymore. Facebook is bullshit. Yeah. But because I'm doing the legacy part of my work on earth. So everything that I put there is on record and on YouTube. So I'm going to keep on piling them there. So far we have over 1,600 messages, revolutionary messages that we serve a lifetime. I serve some generations of Nigeria because our messages are not through go back and look at what we have done until now. You see that the trajectory is the same. Nothing has changed. We are not people who are driven by earthly things. We are not looking for money like that. Yes, if money comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it comes legitimately and off of our hard work. That is great. And we want, and so we expand our mission to that. So you can be a part of our movement. It's a global movement. You see thousands of Americans, people from across the world, coming to our YouTube channel to view us. As we speak right now, we have surpassed 800,000. We are hitting, by the end of next month, we should be at the 1 million mark. And I look forward to that. And I thank all those who have worked closely with me. Victoria Jadu, Sani Sebuan, and the rest of them, Boyo, and many of them that I cannot immediately. Aisha Tajibolo, many. Spencer, yes. Ike, and all that. We thank all of you who share our message, and we welcome more members to our family. to help us expand the cause of this mission. It is for our own. And I look forward to seeing you. Bye for now. You know why the likes of Monday Okpebolo are leaders in Nigeria? Good morning from Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Madu, Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International, all the way from Houston, Texas. It's 11:55 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Houston. I don't know what it is. Wherever you are, I know some people are waking up. Good morning, I say to them. Some are just about to, close the day. Hey, I say good evening, good night, and good afternoon, depending on your location around the world. Once again, it is Smart Madu Ajaja. I was prompted to do this broadcast this morning because of the events, unfolding in Nigeria. That has inspired me to want to let the world know what democracy is about in Nigeria, contrary to what we know or what is popular about the definition of that word democracy in Nigeria. Literally, we were told that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Yes. That is the word view. That is the layman definition of democracy. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I don't know what it is in your country, in your various countries, because I respect the fact that thousands of people come to our channel, from various countries around the world. For us in Nigeria, we have a different definition of democracy. Yes, thank you very much. Hi on Jesus 666 USA #1. All right, welcome. And again, I welcome all new visitors to our channel. We do something, we always welcome you, make you feel at home, wanted, and be prepared to contribute to our discussion. Because discussion is not just about Nigeria. You may hear Nigeria here, Nigeria there, Nigeria in Africa, and somehow United States from where I am broadcasting, so apply it to your country. So feel free that I am speaking to you too, depending on what the situation is. And if democracy is working for your country or in your country, give yourself a thumb up and then thumb up for your country. All right? If it's not working, listen to me and hear, and so we can come up with ways on how we will make democracy work in our country. Before I delve into it, there were a lot of things, a round of messages that I received from so many people that I would love to, talk about before we go into this serious business of defining democracy in Nigeria. All right, earlier in the day, I posted something about what I will be, looking at the way Nigeria is. And it goes like this. If the whole of Nigeria decides to be in a cage, I, Smart Madu Ajaja, will be one Nigeria who will not enter that cage because of the size of what I am and the type of message that I carry. All right, that was that, and it generated some serious responses. Then we did a little bit of that. I hope load fast. Yes, one person said, "We know you. You are not the type that can be caged, but many are in their cage because of hunger and starvation." Yes, hunger and starvation have become a weapon, powerful weapon in the hands of the political class in Nigeria. They subdue the people with hunger and starvation. They made them poor. They denied them access to opportunity. I'm already defining democracy in Nigeria. too soon, but just a reaction to something that I posted. Yeah, they use weapon. The weapon is poverty, weapon of hunger and starvation to break the back of the people and destroy their ability to resist and stand up for anything. So Nigerians basically fall for everything because they have to eat. And what do they eat? Crumbs from these politicians that do not go around everybody. Right? You have to, do certain things in order to feed. Another one responded say, but many are in the cage of Satan, the devil, through sins. This cage directly or indirectly put men into other cages like the political and economic cage. One be free from these cages, but in the cage of Satan, the devil, through sin, is the worst king of slavery. Many Nigerians are into political and economic slavery because of the sins of our leaders that need salvation from sins. Oh my God. All right, I responded. Let me see. Amechi, this is serious. And how do we get Nigeria and Nigerians from this complex cage? All right, he responded, keep on preaching, preaching it on daily basis, just the way we are doing it. Yes, Amechi has been such a tremendous believer in my message, and he helps advance the cause of the message. He's a powerful speaker too. Young man from my place. It's sad. Yes, and okay, I'm hearing Philip. Thank you very much. Tinubu and his enablers needed to be removed immediately. Wow, that's something. I agree with you, Philip. Thank you very much. Fidelis Akele, how are you? And please, if you are a Nigerian just joining, please, this message is very, very important to the people of Nigeria. And I'm going to share some very honest things, including my own experience when I went to run for Senate in Nigeria, what I experienced that I believe is one of the serious causes of the problems where we have Philip AES, Ibrahim Traore, we are with him. And I am a great supporter. In fact, it's one young man that I look forward to seeing or interviewing very soon. So thank you very much for joining. If you have just joined us, please, apart from visiting us, subscribe to our channel and to help us grow bigger and bigger and bigger, like Bob Marley said about his music and his message. He said this music will grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it gets to those who desperately need them, for their redemption. And this is exactly the same view we hold of our message, the message of liberation of peoples from around the world. Next thing on the item, I said the ADC. Nigeria is it's an interesting country, beautiful country, interesting people, but with a devious political class. And how the people of Nigeria have been tied to these people that they cannot sequestrate themselves from them is something that should evoke a research interest. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. The ADC coalition is an assembly of mostly unconscious Nigerians driven by some of the worst criminals, yes, and masterminds of banditry and terrorism in Nigeria, who claim that they are northern leaders and they are terribly corrupt second-class accomplices from other parts of Nigeria, and so must never be taken seriously by any Nigerian. The Open Nigeria Now movement is the best platform to retake Nigeria from its captors, smart Madu Ajaja. Such a beautiful country, so many resources, it should be the richest country on the planet. No bagger, no vagabond, those ones who are there, no bagger, no vagabond, those ones who claim that they think that they own Nigeria. No, they don't own it because Nigerians don't understand their rights. And when you tell them they don't take it seriously, that the rights, of a people, who are conscious and serious can never be toyed with. But Nigerians allow people toy with their lives. They allow them to toy with their rights. They allow people allow some people, a minority, to toy with everything about Nigeria, and they think it is okay. It's not okay to abdicate your responsibility to your country, your duty. It is not okay. It is when you abdicate your responsibility, any reason of your country, criminals, they will do whatever they like they have done to Nigeria, destroy the economy, destroy infrastructure, destroy in the energy sector, destroyed just the national security. Yes, because we see all these things, we turn our eyes away from them as if it's not our business. But the consequences become our business. And now, the only choice, the only one we have is to stand up for the country. And that is why that is why I am preaching to you from 10,000 here, between here and Nigeria. The same place. All right, how is it now? Can you, all right, are you seeing it? Are you watching it? All right, okay. Yes. Thank you, and thank you for joining. All right, sincere appreciation. We have some of uh, some of the greatest moderators on the surface of this earth. So, if you are a hater, you are a racist, you come here to distract, be warned ahead of time, so you won't get in trouble. All right. Okay. So, government of the people, by the people. Are you author? And for the people. Now, is this, if it is for you, is it working for you? Yes. Is the government working for you? The government in Nigeria, for real, to keep the people divided and to keep them retarded. It's not the type of democracy. So it's not working in Nigeria. All right. Its impact on the people. Yes. Jane. Yeah. Yes. So the impact of the people, the impact of this behavior, this democratic culture, this abysmal, this aberration of democracy has done what? Weakened the Nigerian mentality and made them look like they are robots. Nigerians are used like robots by the elites who do not understand the meaning of democracy and its principles and applications. Yes, because they are mostly illiterate with chains of degrees that are awarded or purchased. You know, they are purchased. The Nigerian university system now, vice chancellors sell degrees to undeserving people, those who refuse to go to school at the time. Once they become politicians, they start going to buy PhDs in order to fit into those who are educated, but whereas they are not. Yes, even those who are scared, or I don't know, for some reason, not able to assert themselves. Yes, the intelligentsia in Nigeria has abdicated their country. They have turned their backs on their country. I don't know what they are doing. Yes, so Nigeria has become such a mess. A mess. The implication of this democracy, terrible democracy we practice in Nigeria, the implication on its economy is horrendous, because square pegs are not put in square holes. Round pegs are put in square holes. And when that happens, it becomes disastrous. What you see is disaster. That is why the economy of Nigeria is retarded. That is the reason the economy of Nigeria is not growing. We have the population We have the human, we have the natural, we have the mineral resources. But the economy of the country is as it was because the people of Nigeria have been rendered unproductive. And if you cannot produce, what happens? You cannot have a good economy. Your exchange rate will not be stellar. And that is why the exchange rate between the naira, the Nigerian currency, and the currencies of the rest of the world is the exchange rate is scandalous because the people don't produce anything anymore. Nigerians don't produce because of his tragedy of leadership. Yes, the government of Nigeria runs a Father Christmas-like type of government. That system does not inspire productivity. People, the state governors, for instance, I know I'm from Texas. Texas has a huge economy. The economy of Houston alone is bigger than the economy of Nigeria because it's a productive economy. People are working, people are manufacturing. Everybody has something to do to contribute to the economy. What do we have in Nigeria? Mass unemployment. Absolutely nothing. We have this almighty federal government of Nigeria that gives handout to states. The states can't produce because their governors are some of the most intellectually bereft people. They are corrupt, so all they do is wait every month, waiting for allocation from the federal government. They can't build economy. They are not good investors. They are not improving. They are not able to create an economy. The only economy they create is an economy of collecting from the federal government and then pay teacher salary and they'll be celebrated. Oh, he pays salaries. Is that what you are supposed to be doing? Since I came here 29 years ago, I've never had the governor celebrating that he paid salary, as if he's paying from his pocket, and then the state does not have anything. From where I come from in Nigeria, is an oil hub, a lot of oil in that place. Even if the oil is what has been taken over by the corrupt federal government and the oil majors. The state governors are not creative. They can't think. They don't do a damn thing but wait for that thing. Once they collect, they put everything in their pocket. I come from a country where people will work for 2 years. Every month they are waking up to go to job, to go to work. And they are not paid salaries. Some are owed for as much as 2 years, working every month without being paid at the end of the month. And they continue to work. And you tell me why corruption is in Nigeria. Nigeria is the hub of corruption. So those people have to find ways of surviving. And the only way, the easiest way is to do corrupt things. So that is why corruption is endemic in Nigeria. Tragedy of leadership. The consequences of putting power in the wrong hands, like Nigerians have habitually done, and they think it is cool. Yes. How dare you put a criminal, a drug dealer in power? Drug dealer who has been prosecuted successfully here in the United States. Yes. He paid restitution of nearly 500,000 US dollars before the US asked him to leave their country. He left the country, a criminal, he left the country. He got to Nigeria, he became a senator. From being a senator, he became a state governor for 8 years, governor of the richest state in Nigeria, I'm talking about Lagos State. He confiscated the economy and everything about that state, put it in his pocket, then started building, generating inordinate income for what happened in 2023. His ambition has always been to be president of Nigeria. He came with a lot of money, perhaps richer than the entire country. He bought over whatever there was to buy. He bought the Nigerian army, armed forces. He bought the Nigerian police. He bought the DSS. Yes. He bought the court system. Yes, he needed them. And he bought the corrupt, ever corrupt and morally bankrupt traditional institution, populated by mostly criminals. Yes, he bought all of them. And then he bought student union leaders. He bought part of the labor union leaders. Yes. In spite of that, he took advantage of the fact that most Nigerians now are poor, very poor. So during elections like this, they go to the poor people and give them pittances to buy their votes. Yeah. In that 2023, there was some stiff opposition. Young people who wanted to do something differently. The line behind a presidential candidate that they believe was an inspiration. It was a movement of a kind. But because this criminal had bought up everything, he bought the electoral empire. Yes, a night, this definition of democracy in Nigeria. A night before the presidential election, the chairman of the electoral body, Mahmoud Yakubu, was eating and drinking, yes, at the house of the thief, the robber, the drug dealer that was declared winner. He was at his house, eating and drinking, making merry. He was flown into Lagos in his private jet. After they ate and drank, they sealed the deal for what was to happen the following day. He was flown back to Abuja. Yes. On that day, the following day, the election took place. The people were rebellious. They wanted change. And the direction the election was going, everybody knew what the outcome was going to be if they had announced the true results. All of a sudden, midway into voting, the server went down, blank. All the codes given to electioneering officials across the country started malfunctioning. They reverted back to the tradition of writing results. At 4 a.m., he was declared winner for an inconclusive election. And just like a lightning of speed, in Nigeria there's a tradition that once you win a presidential election, the first step towards getting to the seat of power is to move into the defense building. We were talking about this. He was already moved. It was a plan. It was a coup of a kind. He moved into the defense building. And then he started visiting. The first person he visited was Tony Elumelu. We know what happened. When the government of Buhari brought up about currency redesign policy, there was cash crunch. And I believe Tony Elumelu came handy as the chairman of one of the nemesis called banks in Nigeria. Yes. He visited him once the result was announced. Yes. Broad daylight, Nigerians saw it. That was a pointer.
And then Nigerians started protesting. Not strong enough, not the type of protest that a serious country whose citizens feel that they were robbed. Not the type of protest that they were supposed to be protesting. It was so feeble. And the man who was supposed to have been the winner of the election based on available results was not strong enough. He was scared. He was scared of death. And perhaps people were putting a lot of things in his head. When you run for that type of office, you know that you are already a dead man. You have to go all the way. Nigeria deserves, right now, people who want to die patriotically for the country, not for selfish interest. He could not put the people together to mount the type of protest that will send a message to this illicit beneficiary of an election that he did not win. An electoral process that compromised the status of our country's capital. The system, the election that compromised the country's justice system at its highest level. Yes. By the time we knew what was going on, the people became disillusioned because the center could not hold. There was no pivot. There was no soldier at the front who will marshal the people to say this cannot happen in our country. It happened. A lot of us did the small we could, the best we could, from the distance we are, but that wasn't enough. They had their way. Even with the mess that they had here at the Chicago State University, the forgery involving the rogue president of Nigeria, and his FBI records that the United States is still finding most difficult to release, even after courts have ruled that they release it. Joe Biden sat on it until he left. Donald Trump is here now. He still hasn't done anything. And you know what? We have forgotten about that. Nigerians are, again, as usual, we adjust so easily to pain. We adjust easily to everything. And these people, knowing that Nigerians will always adjust, get worse serially. Now the mindset is geared now in the face of thousands of our people dying every day from terrorism, banditry, poverty, and hunger and starvation. The people of Nigeria are gearing towards another election. They call it 2027. And I know my people. I know Nigerians. I know how we change goalposts when it matters most. Like what happened in 2023. In 2019, now we are all saying, no, this cannot happen because there was a travesty in 2019. We're saying that, no, this will not happen anymore in Nigeria. 2023 came, we saw the worst. Now we have adjusted again. We are talking about 2027 with no pathway to it, no electoral reform. And these guys are getting worse than ever before. You saw what is happening in the Senate of Nigeria, where the state Senate president, who never even won an election, he came from the back doors to become Senate president of Nigeria. And you tell me this is democracy. If that's democracy, I reject it. I don't want it. Truly, democracy is not working in Nigeria. I don't know if it's working anywhere in Africa. I don't think it's our thing. Truly, it's not working. The drivers are corrupt. And it benefits those from outside Nigeria. I'm talking about the imperial forces who never want anything good for Africa. So they rely on these criminals to continue to repress and exploit Africa and its people. So they don't care. Even though they come and every time we have an election, they will send the election monitors. Honestly, they should not come anymore. We don't need them. What are they coming to do? Does the United States invite Africa or any African country to monitor its election? Does Canada invite African countries or anybody for that matter to monitor its elections? Yes. All right. Does France, Germany, Spain, do they invite any country outside their immediate domain to come and monitor the election? So why are they always rushing to Africa to monitor election? It tells you that they see us as a lesser people, and we accept it by validating that foolishness, because by putting the wrong people in power, people who are not courageous enough to set standards that will benefit their people from generation to generation. That is what is required. That's what happens here in the United States. So yes, election, there are brouhahas, but you cannot cheat the system because the people defend it. We don't have anything to defend in Nigeria that we call electoral system. So when you rely, like I will never rely on any bullshit that they're going to put together and tell us INEC to go and vote the same way. And looking at the type of people who are lining up again, the same people, there's no hope for Nigeria in democracy. We have to faction another something else. Yes, to remove the obstacle. We must do something different to uproot the obstacles to true democracy in Nigeria. And that is where we are right now. The country is at crossroads, or at a crossroad. We cannot do anything unless we do something now. Now, that's what I'm saying. Without relying on the bullshit that they will come. By now, if a country that is serious and that is led by people who have conscience, who truly care about the country, we ought to be having an electoral reform well ahead. What you see happen, like it did happen in 2019, was a few weeks to the election. They will say they are bringing new INEC rules, electoral reform, all right? That the people don't even know anything. They can't master it before it goes into effect. So at the end of the day, it becomes this huge sham. But on paper, they have done reform. Nigeria deserves a wholesale electoral reform, preemptive, that will take at least 2 years to put together and mastered for the good of everybody. And the people of Nigeria need to have a national orientation agency that truly works for the people of Nigeria, not the type we have that benefits some men from the ruling party, and keep the country most uninformed and most vulnerable, and have them ready for another round of voters exploitation. This is what it is. Democracy is a fraud in Nigeria, big time. So nobody tells me about democracy in Nigeria. It's not, when they tell you about Nigerian democracy, please don't take them seriously, because it does not exist. Which country is ruled by a criminal? Yes, not just one. I'm not talking about an entire 3 layers of government. I'm talking about the local, the state, and the federal. All criminals are in charge. Criminals are in charge of over 200 million, 250 million Nigerians. Criminals. Criminals are the role models. You see how young Nigerians are derailing? Nigeria does not have enough of role models that the young people can copy, look up to them for leadership. What the young Nigerian knows is a generation of criminals. So that is why you see them take to criminality. It's a leadership crisis that is destroying the country. So those young people, as these criminals are doing their thing, they are watching them because they are in the same parties with them. They are the ones who send them to kill, assassinate people. They are the ones who give them drugs and arm them to kill opponents. They are the ones, even though the young people are more in number, they are the ones that have turned them into imbeciles who cannot reason for themselves. They are the ones who make them stupid to the extent of not knowing that their future is being destroyed with they, as the foot soldiers, destroying their own future. They don't ask questions. Typical Nigerian youth has been turned into a robot who will say yes to everything, who cannot ask questions. I know how I live with my children. My children ask me questions. They ask me questions. They challenge me sometimes. I'll be laughing. Yes, they challenge me to make a point. They tell me things that they believe that I am not doing right. We talk about Nigeria. We talk about issues. They are not scared of talking to me. In Nigeria, if you ask yourself, your parent a question, some will think you are insulting them, you are rude, and all that. But you have Nigerian young people are not free. And a country that has its young people as dumb asses, that country cannot progress. The typical Nigerian youth does not have the self-confidence to confront its leaders or their leaders. Yes. A few times they come out to challenge. They will deploy the army to shoot at them. And once that happens, they are beaten back. And they find it difficult to regroup, to demand, like citizens, young people from other countries have done to set their countries free. I will always make references to Egypt and how Egyptian youths stood to their ground until Hosni Mubarak left. He was forced to leave. He was forced. Some trekked, some rode bicycles. Yes. Some did what they could do, came together, generated how they were going to move. They came back because they love their country. Nigerians generally don't love their country. A people who love their country will not have the likes of Bola Ahmed Tinubu sitting on the presidency of their country. Or the terrorist called Kashim Shettima, a terrorist in whose house the masterminds of the bombing, or the bombers of the United Nations building in 2011 was arrested. They arrested them in his house. Yeah, the sitting rogue vice president of Nigeria. Those who bombed the United Nations building in 2011 were arrested in his house. The question now is, what were they doing in his house if he was not part of them? Well, it has been proven, not once, not twice, beyond reasonable doubt, that Kashim Shettima is one of the masterminds of Boko Haram in Nigeria. And he's sitting on the presidency of Nigeria. You see what I'm saying? The type of democracy we have, democracy driven by terrorists and bandits. Yes. The ex-governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Bello Matawale, was funding terrorism from the State House. He quartered the leadership of the Fulani bandits in the State House. For 8 years, they were living off of the state, and he was buying them operational vehicles. That is Nigeria. And Nigerians know all this. He went to the states, Senate, and he was cleared and made what? The Minister of Defense of Nigeria, a banditry mastermind. Banditry mastermind, made Minister of Defense of my country, Minister of Defense. I'm going to play something for you, and I will show it to you so you know we are driven by evidence what is happening in Zamfara State. The new governor came. Right. They are responsible for holding Nigeria in captivity. They are responsible for everything that has gone wrong with Nigeria. They are the ones. They are the ones who brought this evil upon Nigeria. They are the ones who brought the evil of Muhammadu Buhari for 8 years on the people of Nigeria. Thank God he died. But after he has done an enormous damage that will take generations to fix, they have actually disabled the country. They have captured our country. They are the ones who have deployed mercenaries around the country, waiting to clamp down, to jump on it. Yes, they are the ones. They hate Nigeria. They are not Nigerians. They have no interest of Nigeria at heart. It is only about stealing, exploiting Nigeria for their own selfish benefits. But they put the ordinary person in the north in front. And they recruit them as soldiers, foot soldiers. In their war against them, the young people in the north. They have generationally destroyed the Hausa people. For 221 years, these people have had this Hausa people in captivity. In the nation state of Nigeria for 64 years, going to 65 years. They have abused the Hausa population to the detriment of the whole of Nigeria. They used the Hausas to set Nigeria back. Nigeria would have gotten a lot better. Nigeria refused to move. They tell the Hausa people that they are one and the same in Allah or in Islam. But at the same time, they rape and destroy, kill the Hausa people. They speak their language, they use their language, they commit mayhem against the state of Nigeria and speak the Hausa language. And the ordinary Nigerian would think that it's the Hausa people, as it is known. And it's until recently, people have started understanding that there are some variances between the Fulanis. Yes, driven by this, decided whose mission is to Nigeria for them to build their Fulani nation. Yes. They have used the Hausa people against Nigeria. Well, the Hausa people perhaps are waking up now. How early are they waking up? And how far can they go? Yes, we have been speaking to them to wake up and be Nigerians instead of being Northerners. There's nothing like North. The North is a Yes. I don't know why this thing is, but we are going to be getting through it. Yeah. Is it still frozen? Ziggy, is it still frozen? Is it back now? All right. I don't know why. I don't know why that is happening. Okay. So, they are building a coalition. They built that coalition in 2014 to oust Jonathan Goodluck. He gave them the chance to do what they did to oust him. In fact, I would say that he was the one who ousted himself because he didn't do what he was supposed to do as president of Nigeria. For 6 years, he failed the country. Well, I'm not interested in going into the details. So I've said that in the past. So that was how they brought Buhari. Buhari came for eight years. He ruined the entire country, recruited terrorists into the Nigerian armed forces and other service areas. Yes, and everything about him was nepotistic. The DSS, Yusuf Bichi, DSS director, was the one who allowed Boko Haram to invade the prison in Nigeria. For 3 hours, Boko Haram operated in Kuje prison, freed all their members in detention. Yes, 3 hours. There was no army was found anywhere near that. There was no police found anywhere near that. The DSS was nowhere to be found. The Air Force did not come with its area power. Yeah, it was a plan. And they had the Attorney General, Abubakar Malami, who protected terrorists. Isa Pantami, a terrorist, known by Saudi Arabia and the United States, who were following him everywhere and everything he did. He was a minister. It was a legion of terrorists on Nigeria. And they successfully destroyed the entire country before they left power. So, they are responsible for bringing Nigeria on its nose. So now these guys are putting a political coalition. They and their stooges from other parts of the country. I call them second-class Nigerians, including some from my place. They are putting a coalition. Because these Fulani elites in Nigeria, they know that their game is up. They can't play Nigeria anyway anymore. Nigerians have come to an understanding of who they are and what they represent. Nigerians have discovered that these people are invaders like their ancestors were, who never cared, who never loved Nigeria. They don't want the good of Nigeria. They want Nigeria in confusion because they thrive and benefit there. They destroyed everything. 10 out of Nigerian leaders, 10 out of Nigeria's 13 leaders were something to do directly or remotely with them. Every time they come near power or at it, they destroy. So they are the ones responsible for what Nigeria has become. They are the ones responsible for making Nigeria insecure and most unsafe. They are the ones responsible for destroying the country's economy through destroying the mainstay of the country's economy, the NNPC, the petroleum industry. They killed 4 refineries for the emergence of a Dangote refinery. Dangote has the only functioning refinery in Nigeria. For 10, going to 15 years, they were working on it. They wrecked the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and all the four Nigerian state refineries. None of them is working. And they built, with Nigeria's money, Dangote's refinery. They are responsible. They have successfully destroyed everything. All right? Because they are always driven by power, economics, and finance. Just like as their forefather, was driven, with which the ideology with which he destroyed the Hausa states. That is done. So the jihad is still on. The jihad is a generational jihad. They hate to hear this type of message from me, but it's the message of truth. You can't controvert it. We have to tell our people the truth. We have to tell our children the truth. We want to end this jihad now, so our children will have a country of their own, a country that they'll be proud of, a country where it doesn't matter what you speak and how you dress, and a country where everybody will be free to be their brother's keeper, a country that will never be divided again between the north and south, as if we are at a war with one another, a country where there will be no need to rotate presidency between north and south, a country where we will continue to recycle intellect, abilities, competency, yes, knowledge, courage to do good, and the exceptional character and strength of character to lead. Yes. Why should we? They are always angry. They are always on ease when they are not in power. These are apartheid merchants. Minority rule in Nigeria, that's what we've been facing. And they did a terrible job at it. They can't lead, but they will always want to be the leaders. The people around them, Hausa people, for how many years? 221 years. They kept them in captivity in their own land. They didn't develop them. As we speak, over 30 million children are on the streets everywhere in the north. And the same people who made these children poor and beggars and failing to give them form and only remember them when there is need for them to fight for the interest of their north, not the north of Nigeria. North. That's when they remember the Hausa children. They will arm them with AK-47. Yes, to kill fellow Nigerians. All right? So this is what is about to end. But they don't understand that Nigeria has changed. 2023 was it when Nigeria changed. And Nigeria is going to change. Even though our people have been slow at waking up. Even though as they are waking up, they are not doing it the right way. They are still scared. Yes. How come? They are the ones who are masterminding terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. They were in APC, and now they are moving into ADC. What is the difference between APC and ADC? D. Yes. D. So they're always looking for places to be in control. Atiku Abubakar is one of their champions. Nasiru El-Rufai is another champion of theirs. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is another champion of theirs. These are all shameless champions. They were either state governors or vice president of Nigeria. Atiku was vice president of Nigeria for 8 years. What did he do as vice president? He stole so much money. They gave him the opportunity to privatize Nigeria's ailing institutions. He put the cost, whatever he sold it in his pocket. Sold a good number of them to himself and his cronies. And the reason for the sale of all those institutions got defeated. Nigeria has gotten worse. I wonder what he wants to do, what he wants to be president of Nigeria for. This is a man who was involved with a corrupt practice with Congressman Jefferson of the United States. America arrested Jefferson, put him through trial, found him guilty, and jailed him. Atiku ran away from the United States, where he had a mansion at Potomac, Maryland. When the FBI was closing on him, he abandoned that house and had to sell it through a proxy. Is that the man you want to put the presidency of your country in his hand? And he's one of the Fulani elites manipulating Nigeria. He has political children all across Nigeria, not because he loved the mothers of those children. It's a terrible man. Is that the one you want to put as your president? Nigerians will be joking. El-Rufai is another one, state governor of Kaduna State for 8 years. He was a one-time minister of Federal Capital Territory. What did he do? So much blood in his hand. For the eight years he was governor, so much blood. A lot of people were massacred. And he was one of those masterminding them. Yes. The late Obadiah Melafia implicated him. Yes. Via his interview with the field commanders of Boko Haram, they named him as one of those. Yes. Who mastermind Boko Haram in Nigeria. So El-Rufai wants to be president of Nigeria. He said he wanted to wrong the right the wrong for bringing an evil man to power in Nigeria. He confessed to that. And he doesn't know. We have the recordings of everything he said. Is that the one, if you're a serious Nigerian, you must be stupid to be in the same political party with him. He wants to right the wrong with the ADC. Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso, governor of Kano State for 8 years. Kano State boasts of one thing: the highest number of beggars in Nigeria are found in Kano State. So what he could not do in Kano State, how will he be able to do it for Nigeria? Nigerians, I think something is wrong with your brains. We are all sick people, tolerating these same people, and then looking at them as the engines of change for Nigeria. I don't know how that is going to happen. Yeah, but that is Nigeria. That's the democracy we have in Nigeria. Yes, I thought I shared this, the meaning of democracy and how it is faring in Nigeria. The same army and police that they can't use to fight Boko Haram, they use that to fight through activists like me and the freedom fighters. Yes, the same army that the state governors say that they are not able to use because they are controlled by the federal. Something is not right. Something is not right. And the only people who can make something right for Nigeria is the people of Nigeria. Now, let me shock you with one thing before I leave. I'm here, I know some of you, if you are following what is taking place in Ghana as we speak, Ghana is supposed to be a sisterly African state. We share a lot historically by way of those who colonized those two countries of Ghana and Nigeria. All right, I'm going to play something for you. Whether it is AI generated or human generated, but it resonates with the thinking in Ghana right now. Okay? You know, Nigerians are being asked to leave Ghana because they believe that Nigerians are constituting themselves into nuisance in Ghana. The Nigerians are bringing about kidnapping and ritual killing in Ghana. Me, I do not hold brief for anybody. If Nigerians are involved in any of those criminalities, please, I tell the Ghanaian authorities, please arrest them, prosecute them as criminals, but don't prosecute them as Nigerians, because it will be very unfair to generalize as bad. And this is where I always had problems, especially with South Africa and its mostly blind youths. At the time we are talking about uniting Africa, you know, what happened is breaking my heart right now. But I'm inspired to continue the work on the unification of Africa in line with the vision of our founding fathers. Hear this purported from Ghana.
Youth of Ghana, don't be idle for the Nigerians to take over your homeland. Nigeria must go!
Did you hear that? That's what is taking place in Ghana now. And then if you need to see the reaction is generating in Ghana. So don't be surprised that in a few days you'll hear that Nigerians being hacked down, killed in Ghana. Yeah, my response to this, I said, I love this. If this is what Nigerian youths to wake up and retake their country from the rogues holding it stage. But one thing I will hate is that Ghanaian youths kill Nigerians in their country, because it will trouble me so deeply as one who has invested so much energy and emotions as a Pan-Africanist in the struggle for the liberation and unification of Africa. This is a very dangerous development that will severely hurt Africa. And I know that Kwame Nkrumah will be spinning in his grave right now. I think we, as Nigerians, should end the talk about 2027 and move fast to retake our country from its rogues. Now, a friend of mine sent me a message, because I shared my opinion with him. Let me see if I'm going to see it. I don't think it's here. Yes, he sent me a message, and we had an argument over it. He didn't understand the angle where I'm coming from, but he sent me a message about the history of what took place in the past, and which I knew that it's like we are repeating history. There was a time, sometime in the 60s, right after the Ghanaian independence, Kwame Nkrumah, great guy, one of our founding fathers, a man that we respect so much, he told Africans that Ghana was theirs because the independence of Ghana was independence for the whole of Africa. And Kwame Nkrumah was very instrumental to the independence of a lot of other African countries. So he invited Africans into Ghana. A lot of Africans, especially Nigerians, went into that country, invested, and were living there until the guy who ousted Kwame Nkrumah came, and then brought about a decree that now started talking about aliens and all that. Aliens Act, they call it in Ghana. And I saw a Ghanaian guy who spoke very well about it. And then they nationalized the properties, asked those people to leave. It brought about a decree that most of the people who were there were Nigerians. Nigerians lost their property to Ghana. They auctioned what they had. Those who, a lot of them were thrown into jail, in Africa. And then there was a mass migration back to Nigeria. Some left their things. They lost so many. Until that guy was ousted by Jerry Rawlings. Jerry Rawlings, remember, in the 1983s, 1980s, there were a lot of influx of Ghanaians into Nigeria because of that bad policy. That the guy who overthrew, I think Ankara, who overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, he destroyed the Ghanaian economy. Because the Nigerians there were drivers of the economy. So when he sent them back, and a lot of them lost their things, Ghanaians jumped on their property and took them. It created a terrible economic crisis that led to his ouster by Jerry Rawlings, or whoever it was. Now, the effect was so bad that Ghanaians started leaving their country. Where did they end up? Millions of them poured into Nigeria. And then when Buhari came, there was this Ghana must go. So Ghana must go. It was Ghanaians who started Ghana must go and Nigeria must go. right after Nkrumah was overthrown. Now, 1983, the Ghana must go thing by Nigeria started. Ghana must go. So they drove Ghanaians. Buhari it was, who did not know what it takes to be an African because he was an Arab. He wasn't an African. It was so painful to see my countrymen and women. Not all, some. Buhari championed it. Ghana must go, Ghana must go. That hypocrite. So Ghanaians left. Those some stayed back, but a good number of them left. When they came, it's not like they were not doing anything. And some of them were shoemakers, some of them were doing all kinds of menial jobs that Nigerians would not do at the time. Ghana must go. But today we're having a reverse of that. Yes. Ghanaians, I think some years ago, under Akufo-Addo, there was something, a breakage into the Nigerian embassy in Ghana. All right, now it's getting worse. Ghanaians want Nigerians to leave their country. I welcome it. It's a lot of Nigerian, young Nigerians out there in Ghana. A good number of them are not doing anything. If they are themselves into nuisance, they should be punished according to the laws of Ghana. But what the Ghanaians must not do must be the idea as usual, like the foolishness by South African youths to generalize and begin to create a xenophobic attack. Because I saw some South African comments. This certain is on TikTok. South Africans are in solidarity with the Ghanaians, asking Nigerians to leave their country. It broke my heart. This is not who we are. It's a representation of this colonial mentality that has not left Africa. We are one people, and Africans should be able to be anywhere in Africa as long as he's doing his thing legally and without, violating the laws of wherever he is in. And where and when they violate the law, they should be punished as criminals and as individuals, and not as citizens of any country for that matter. This is the only problem I have with what is taking place. And again, this is timely for Nigerians to truly wake up and retake their country. No time could be better than now to make that happen. Yes, it's very important. All right, let me see what this guy is saying. Navy Blue, the solution to Nigerian problem is not democracy or government. You need to re-educate your approach to society, politics, business, education, and everything is steeped in corruption. I can't agree less with you. We were never these people. We were never like this. And if you followed at the beginning when we started this conversation, I took time to define democracy the way it is. I spoke about Nigeria of my time and the Nigeria we are seeing right now. The Nigeria we have right now is so scary. I'm even scared myself. Yes, it's because the country has been hijacked by criminals. A country where criminals are not afraid of being criminals. That country will end up the way Nigeria is headed. And this is why it is an emergency for all of us Nigerians to wake up and do what we must do to save that country. How on earth will a drug dealer be your president? How on earth will a terrorist be vice president? How on earth will a bandit be minister of defense? How on earth will a rogue be Senate president and that country moves forward? It can't. Yes, it can't. And this is what we are dealing with right now. And this is the reason why I've been telling them, The good people, terrible things happen when good people stay on the sideline. There are more good people than evil people in Nigeria. But those good people, you don't hear their voices. They have resigned. It's either they are afraid or they have decided that they don't want to have anything to do with Nigeria. Yes, like some of my friends tell me here that I'm wasting my time because I'm always speaking about Nigeria. And they tell me, oh, you are lucky to be here, wasting your time for a country that cannot be redeemed. But I say, no, Nigeria can be redeemed. And it's going to take all of us to make it happen. If everybody contributes his little water, it will become a whole. Nigeria has lost its moral compass, and it is sad. I feel so sad. I feel ashamed a lot of time. But I know who I am. And that is why I'm at the forefront of advocating for an open Nigeria that will sweep this evil away. Yeah, that will repopulate Nigeria with good people as leaders at all levels. With this, we come to the end of this broadcast, and we appreciate all those who took their time to join us. As always, we sincerely and very deeply appreciate you and look forward to seeing you in our next live stream. And if you did not or have not subscribed to our channel, please do us a favor, because we want to grow organically by subscribing. And then deepen our relationship. You can become a member and then send us super thanks of any amount you can afford, so we can continue to expand this stage and bring you those very, 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 very insightful comments or commentary on the issues on Nigeria, Africa, the United States, and the rest of the world. We thank you, and we can't thank you enough. Much love and good night. Bye-bye.